Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L here to talk about the My Hero Academia chapter 326 spoilers. Hey everyone, now apologies for my voice, apologies in general, still sick, but we'll get through this. The spoilers have dropped. They were out during the middle of the night maybe, but here we go. The spoilers, they're pretty much All Might and Stain. It's finally happening, and wow, they're actually doing the thing where Stain is the one to give away the information, or some kind of information. Here we go. You know, we have talked about that being a possibility, but now that we're actually here, it's like, wow, who would have thought? Now, I would like to also say, to the people who thought that All Might was Toga last chapter, I hope there's some type of lesson that can be learned here. That no, it was in fact not Toga. But there's always crazy Hero Academia theories, and this is just more of the same when it comes to that part of the fandom. It's great that we're here. There's a difference between saying Stain's going to be the one to leak the information versus Toga is masquerading as All Might. But regardless, so wonderful that we're here. Let's just get right into it. Here are all the chapter summaries. Now, if you want to see the pictures, and I've looked at the pictures that we've got so far, I will leave a link to Manga Helpers. You can check it out there. Alright, so the chapter begins with All Might driving his car while remembering his last conversation with Izuku. He goes to Kamino, where Izuku vs. Class A took place, and sees part of the mask lying on the ground. He then looks at his own statue and remembers his talk with Aizawa right before the war, when Aizawa said that just by being alive, he's already helping many people. I agree. I totally agree. But then he himself says that he can't do anything for his suffering disciple and that he just is holding everyone back. This is when Stain appears, pointing his sword at All Might and saying that these words are an insult to a great hero. Good old Stain, always coming in hot. All Might recognizes Stain and says he couldn't talk to him in Tartarus as he wanted, confirming that, great, nothing happened during that time period. But Stain doesn't know what he is talking about. All Might then realizes that he must not know about his thin form and introduces himself. Stain says that he is lying. Again, I want to make fun of Stain on that one, but All Might was able to trick hundreds of thousands of people with that form. So, yeah, okay. I actually legitimately, Stain's already a pretty bad judge of character. He probably wouldn't be able to recognize things like that. All Might transforms briefly to prove it, but Stain continues to doubt. He says that he's an imposter and asks why he came to the holy land of a hero to lie and dirty his name. Good God, the zealotry has not stopped. All Might then says that maybe he was always lying, that he created an image for himself because he couldn't see the injustices around him anymore. He says that the current state of the country totally destroyed is the end result of his efforts. Well, that's All Might in a negative spiral. It's not the end result of his efforts. Like, this is just... Well, actually, Stain has a really good line about this. He says that even though he put his life on the line, he couldn't help his disciple, and after that, he didn't even have the courage to talk to him in UA. If you guys follow the videos, and if you're on live stream with me, then you know. This is what we were talking about. All Might was 100% depressed about him not being able to talk to Izuku. I mean, this is just the epitome of All Might. This is All Might. He screws up, and then he completely disconnects from everyone in the world. He did it with Night Eye. He's doing it with the Izuku, because when it comes right down to it, All Might is not a good communicator. I told everyone that this is what's going to happen, and we're actually here. He actually said the thing. He didn't have the courage to talk to him because he couldn't help Izuku. This is how All Might doesn't improve. It's because he continues doing these stupid things of not communicating with the people he puts in tough positions. Anyway, he remembers the scene of the civilians handing the umbrellas to the students. Now, I want to know is how did All Might see that when even Endeavor and Shoto were outside of that thing and they couldn't see what was going on? How did All Might manage to see that when there were people? If that's weird. I don't know how he could have seen that without the rest of UA knowing that he was there. That is very strange. That doesn't make sense. Oh, you know what? Gotta wait for the chapter for that one. Stain then jumps towards All Might as if he's going to attack him, but actually only pulls him out of the front of the statue because he saw a woman coming. They both hide, and he tells All Might to watch. The woman is the one that All Might saved in the Camino, who is trapped in the rubble of a building. She takes off the sign that says, "I am not here," and starts to clean the statue. You know, a random act of kindness, always appreciated. Stain says that what defined All Might was his smile and his courage, not his power, and that this is the only version of All Might that he can accept. Important note here is that All Might, like a human, has given in to anger when it comes to All for One. This is essentially also Stain saying that he's not going to accept a hero that gives in to anger, which is consistent with his philosophy, but this just, again, reminds you that Stain is a zealot. He says that the current state is not the end result of his efforts at all. They are still the middle part of the process, which I think is actually a really good idea. He says that the embers left by All Might have not been blown out by even the strongest winds and have been passed on to a group of people who have turned them into a huge fire that continues to grow. Now, this is the interesting one. For that idea, you see an image of Class 1A. I can't show it, of course, because otherwise I'll be copy struck to hell. But they show an image of Class 1A on that particular one. And in that image is Ida. So I think that's All Might imagining that, because I'm not sure Stain would imagine Ida being a good person, because that's Stain. I mean, he's coming in pretty strong here. All Might begins to cry as he watches the lady. Stain then says that he is unable to recognize All Might in that person right now. But if he really is the true hero he so admires, he should use the information Stain obtained in Tartarus and end him, putting an end to the hero killer. He throws a knife on the ground near All Might containing a piece of paper with this information he talked about. He finishes by saying that this is all for the sake of a more just society, and All Might is still crying. The girl looks at the sky and realizes the rain is stopping. So the rain stopping is something that we knew about in the last chapter. Like, it was still going on, which is the same way we're going to have another sad chapter. So nice to see that there was a follow through on that. The rain stopping now means that we're moving towards the upswing of this little depressive spiral for All Might. That said, you know, I do enjoy that Stain is still crazy. I do enjoy that Stain is still arguably very incorrect in a few spots here. Especially with telling All Might to kill him. And it's like, I don't think All Might's going to do that, man. I don't think he would. But we'll have to see. Overall, it's a pretty simple chapter of just Stain and All Might talking. There's really nothing else here going on. It's just Stain and All Might. Stain just came in to give All Might a pep talk. And again, this pep talk is happening because All Might is a terrible communicator. This is all All Might's doing. Which is, in a way, just great to see because it's consistent with his character. It's unfortunate too because it ultimately says that he hasn't learned any lessons from Night-Eye, even though he knows what this kind of stuff usually ends in when it comes to him and his bad communication habits. But here we are. This is unfortunately a thing with All Might that we have known for a while. And ultimately this arc is one that revolved around Izuku and All Might falling to their worst traits. Izuku fell into like full-on self-destruction, and All Might fell into full-on I'm not talking to anyone, I screw over. But yeah, that's chapter 326. It's a pretty simple chapter. Nothing else really going on. Guys, we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope the spoilers have excited you, or at least get you interested. For those that thought that Stain was going to team up with Toga and kill All Might, come on, that's unrealistic. I know people just get really excited, but that's extremely unrealistic. But now we actually have to look forward to the idea that maybe All Might and Stain by themselves go to deal with All for One, which would be stupid. Ideally, All Might goes back to UA and is like, yo, I got information. Don't ask me where, but I got information. That'd be the best thing to do here. Anyway, everyone, let me know what you thought down below. And until next time, I hope you have an absolutely great day.